Adrian, we'll start with a simple roll call. How is the squad? How's it looking injury wise? Anyone returning?
Oh yeah, a couple of niggly injuries from last week, but mostly really positive. Tom O'Mahon comes back into consideration, so we'll give him right up until kick-off to be selected. So he'll be in that 21. Apart from that, the other players are starting to run. So obviously some better signs ahead for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and obviously you've missed some of those key players. How important would it be then to see Tom back? I guess maybe not starting, bring him in later in the game?
Yeah, it's a decision that we'll make on Friday just before in our last run there. So we'll come up with a bit of a plan and then power on with that. But it's just good to see him back around the players after the rehab that he's done and whatnot. But, it's one of many to come back over the next 4 weeks. So we're pretty excited about that.
Do you notice... Can you see a change in him from when obviously you spoke to him throughout the off season and the first few weeks of the season? But do you notice now a change in him now that he's back on the grass and he's running with the lads again, and there is that hope that maybe at the weekend he can play?
Yeah, he's just a bubbly character, isn't he? And always after a laugh. So it's good to see him around the place. But you can also see in some of his touches that what we've really missed. So within that character, there's also a competitor and a leader and someone that loves to win, and we need that for us at the moment. And he's been around, he's done it all. So I think his inclusion, if he makes it for this weekend, it'll be good for the team.
As you say, you can tell what you've missed in him. Back-to-back derby defeats, Salford and Wigan. I guess now this weekend you're kind of hurting but itching to get it right and get another really positive performance out there.
Yeah, I thought in patches we were pretty good against Wigan. It just wasn't long enough, so that inconsistency there. But that's what happens when you have so many changes. And we're working really hard on trying to get that 80-minute consistent performance. So it's not been ideal for us, but this weekend's another opportunity for us to try and find our way. And I think we're getting better each week. We've just got to nail an 80-minute performance this weekend.
Yeah, obviously it's been a few weeks since we spoke, and back then you spoke about needing time. Yeah. Where is your mind at with that kind of statement now?
Yeah, I think watching the players that have come in, the Dan Normans, the Owen Trouts, even Frankie Holton to some degree, Brad Dwyer's fit in. I think those players have really developed over the last 4 weeks of rugby. Mila Hanley, the list goes on. So, in regards to those players, I think this has been a godsend for them because it's brought them to a level that I think they would have got to, but maybe later down the track. So, like I said, it'll put us in better shape as we get on into the season.
Finally, for me, just a quick one on Hull KR and the challenge you'll have this weekend with them.
Yeah, obviously it's a tough place to go up to and play really well. They've got the big crowd behind them, and they'll be red hot favourites, and so they should be. I think the last month the rugby's been pretty scintillating for them, scoring big scores, and I know if we go up there and we're not quite on it, it could happen to us. So, it's going to be a massive challenge for us. They're red hot favourites, as I mentioned, so we've got to play well.
Good luck for the weekend, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Hi, Adrian, hope you're well.
Hey, Drew, good. You?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Just on Tom, has he recovered earlier than expected? Because initially I thought he was going to be out for around 2 months. Has he come back quicker?
Yeah, he has come back a bit quicker. The initial scan showed a fracture on the foot, but 2 weeks later we had a rescan. It showed that was an old fracture that still was there. So, there was some damage to it, some scar tissue, sort of ligament damage to it. So we've luckily that was the positive news. Instead of it being 8 weeks, it's been half of that. So, like I said, just some positive news for us at this part of the season.
I know you don't really like talking about injuries, but I've got to ask you about Robbie MN and how his calf is this week. How's he pulled up this week? Yeah,
he's a 50-50 Robbie for this weekend. Again, it's not ideal that one of our senior players is in that position, and he's played at Hull KR before as well, so he knows what it's like to go up there and play at that ground. But we're going to give him right up until captain's run to see if he's good to go too.
And just thinking back to last year, obviously it is the rematch of the final this weekend. What are your personal memories from last year?
Obviously, the Challenge Cup final was one of the greatest moments for this club in the last century, and one that we're grateful to be a part of. And you never want that to end and the season start again, but it's come around so quickly. But some memories that we'll have in our hearts, not only for me and the players, but for the whole town. It was an important part of who we are at the moment, what we're building here. So, it's our trophy to hold at the moment. So we've got that in the back of our mind to make sure that we go up there and give our absolute all, and I'm sure the players will.
Yeah, have you been tapping into that this week, or will you tap into that this week, or maybe show players some clips or anything like that, or the memories from last year's final?
I think you do that at the start of the Challenge Cup sort of series, and you tap into things as you go along. But I think this week's more about our squad and where we're at, and us looking for improvement and making sure that we defend better than what we've been doing. So, there's a lot of different angles we can take. But this is a massive one for us. Like I said, I think Hull will be emotionally connected to that, and we've got to match it.
Nice one, Adrian. I'll pass you on. All the best for this weekend.
Thank you.
Hi, Adrian. Just a couple from me, sort of following up what Drew's asked about. Do you think the club would be markedly different in a markedly different situation now if Lackland's kick hadn't gone over and the final had turned out differently?
Not really. I think we're a lot more known now or respected. But I feel that with the 5-year plan in place, it's certainly who we've wanted to be, and it's certainly created part of the DNA that we are as a club and a team now. And a lot of the players that played in that game have played in Challenge Cup finals before, so we've got that experience here. But on the bigger picture as a club, I think we're exactly where we need to be. Apart from we want to be higher up the ladder, obviously, in the Super League competition, but off the field, even social media, bigger numbers at home games, all that corporate side of things flying with the club, and they've done a really good job, everyone involved with that. So as a coach, I'm proud to be part of this. We're getting better, we're growing, and who knows where we would be in another 12 or 24 months.
You think externally it completely changed the way Leah looked at as well? I appreciate that's not necessarily your concern, but you went from being the sort of underdogs who came up and were avoiding relegation to what you were. Do you think that really changed because of what you did? I
think that certainly happened, and it's like I said, it's been great for our town. Our fans haven't had much to cheer about over the last 50 years, and this has really given them some hope and a breath of fresh air to be able to come down and support their team that they know has a chance of winning every week. But I think for other supporters of other sports that don't follow rugby league would know who we are now, and I think that's important that we've etched our name into history and folklore, and just as a club given ourselves an identity for people to watch and support. So we're proud of that. We're forever talking about that, but we've got a lot of work to do still on the field. And like I said, with us moving forward, it's only the start of what we're going to be, and we're happy with the direction the club's heading in. And I think that memory last year, I think it was one of the biggest upsets in sporting history. Not so much against Hull KR, but winning it overall. And I think we're grateful for those moments.
Right, thanks, Adrian.
Thanks, mate.
Hi, Adrian. You okay?
Hey, Steve. Good. You?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. I was just wanting to sort of ask you a little bit about the Challenge Cup. I've just been sort of canvassing opinion a bit on sort of the state of the competition. I think you've already sort of addressed some really good points about the sort of impact it had for the club more generally and its profile. But also, I mean, for you as a as a person, I mean, you've won it as a player and a coach, haven't you? I mean, what are your sort of immersions around the cup?
Yeah, I was very proud of it. It's something that I've always felt passionately about. I remember as a 10, 11, 12-year-old living in Brisbane, playing rugby league there, staying up late at night to watch the Challenge Cups, and always wanted to be a part of that, And that's, I think a lot of fans were really happy about us winning the cup last year. But for me personally, it was something that I've dreamt about as a young boy. So having been fortunate enough to be a player and winning it, and then a coach is one of the highlights of my life. So, having said that, again, I'm just grateful for the group that we had as players, how hard they worked to get that result, and I believe we're a better squad this year. So we've got a lot of learning and fixing and improving to go of this season, and we've got to turn our season around now. But if there's ever a moment we need to do it, it is now. So, we'll be fired up for the game, and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, mate.